Hi everyone. I'm here this morning because I'm actually going away today, so I won't be able to do a live. I realize there's probably not going to be anybody on this morning because it's pretty early, but I just wanted to talk to you very briefly about something I kind of always knew but didn't really. Sometimes you have experiences and then you can put some context around it. So I had one of those experiences, and so now I can put context around it. So I always knew, people always said, and I always knew, run it through your own soul and figure out if it works for you. So all the teachers, all the workshops I ever went to, they're always like, well, you try it first because what I'm telling you is what worked for me and it may not work for you. And I always knew that to be true, but I'm just going to give you a good example of what that really means. So I've always tried to meditate, and I had a really difficult time meditating. I've had a really difficult time doing different things, just getting centered, not feeling so flustered, that sort of thing. And for me, what I realized is don't try to push those things, because what is meant to be should be easy, right? Or not an uphill battle. So what I realized recently is that my meditation is food, and I've known that for a bit actually. It's these things you always know. So I always knew that I was centered when I was eating properly, and coffee, as I've mentioned in one of my posts, if you want to look that up, the New You post, it threw me off. So when I am off the coffee and when I am eating properly, I am a whole different person. And it's almost like I am in a daily meditation, like I can think more clearly, I am centered, and I don't necessarily need the meditation, although I feel like if I did meditate right now, it would be a whole different experience. And I have actually, and it's much clearer, it's much different. Good morning, Leslie Ann. Nice to see you. I'm just hopping on for a minute here. So have a great day. Have a great start to your day. So that's why I just wanted to bring it up. So if I had have just thought that everything works, like I should be able to meditate, I should be like everyone else and I should sit down and I should meditate, I would have been like, it would have been this forceful thing, because at the time I would have not been eating healthy and I would have been drinking coffee, and it might have, like, I have done it and I get glimpses, but it just wouldn't have been the same. But now that I realize that I am a unique person and I have different idiosyncrasies and different things work for me, I realize that for everything to be more centered and balanced, my foundation is food and eating well and not drinking lots of water, no coffee. So that's my foundation. Whereas someone else, that may not matter to them. It may not even faze them. And their foundation may be meditation, right? That may be what getting centered right off the bat may be their rock, their foundation. So you have to figure out what is your foundation, what works for you. And whenever somebody is teaching you something or doing something, like even when I give readings, I try to tell people, run this through your soul, because what I'm telling you is just what I'm hearing and what the cards are saying and what I'm seeing. And it may not resonate. And if it doesn't, throw it out. Right? Leslie Ann, you need coffee. I hear you. I used to think that for myself too, but again, it's a personal thing. My husband, he is so much better with coffee, for sure. So that's the point. The point is that our bodies are all our individual bodies. Our minds are our individual minds. And so we have to figure out what works for us. And we can't just take these cookie cutter ideas that people give us and put them on. What we do is we take these cookie cutter ideas and we try them on, and then we see, how does that feel? Does it feel right? Does it feel like it's working out? Because if it doesn't feel right, then something's off and you have to tweak it a little bit for yourself, because you're your own individual person. So yeah, that's what I've learned this week is when it doesn't feel right, there's a reason, and that you have to tweak it to yourself. And what I also realized is that your soul is constantly telling you what is right for you. I've known for years that, like years, I'm talking like over 10 years, I've known that food is my foundation. But for some reason I fought it because it's like, I don't know why. I just did. I fought it. And I've always known that. And I've always known that it makes me feel clearer, better. I'm a better person. So we all know deep down what our foundations are and what is best for us. And so figure out what that is and then honor it. Give yourself the time and the space to honor those things that are real for you. Is it that you need to, like I know a lot of people in my life right now who they need to go out and have some excitement every once in a while. And I'm actually, I don't necessarily need that, but I need something new. I need to have something new every once in a while. And if I don't have that, then I'm not honoring my soul. And I get really kind of like down in the dumps. So like we went out and we went and looked at Christmas lights for a couple hours the other day and went tobogganing, and it just lifted me up. I had the best day the next day. So that's something I know that is true for me. So that's what I'm saying. You have to figure out what is true for you and then apply that and honor yourself and give yourself the space and time for that. And then in regards to all the other things that people are telling you that try this, definitely try it. Always be open and try new things, but then run it through your soul and really feel like, does this feel right? And don't try to force it on you, because that's what we do nowadays, because there's so many different books and Facebook Lives and all these things, and we're like, do this, it'll work. But don't be hard on yourself when it doesn't work, because you are your own individual self. And it may not be right for you. What is right for you, you know deep down in your soul. And it might take a few trials to find it. So anyways, that's just a thought for today. I might do a Facebook Live tomorrow since I'm missing the real Facebook Live today. But we'll see. It's busy Christmas time, so maybe you guys are all busy too, and I'm busy. So Leslie just says here, she says that she thinks she's gotten through the stages what is right for her and her family, I think, because she says us. I need to get out to be with people like me, but I need to be careful not to overload myself. That is exactly it. Yes. Oh, I think we go through stages of what is right for us and me, and that right now she needs to be out with people and she needs to be careful not to overload herself. Yes, that is exactly right. I'm glad that you brought that up about stages, because I totally think you're right that we all go through stages. So what was right for you 10 years ago may not be right for you now. But what I will tell you is that there is certain core things that I think will be with you forever. I think there's some core things that will be with you forever. For me, I have two core things that are with me forever, I think. One is, like I said, food, and the other one is that adventure piece. Like, I really feel like I always will need a little bit of adventure in my life, in that, like, even if that means just going out to see the Christmas lights and going tobogganing. Yeah, and but for sure there's things that will come and go. Like, I used to actually need to be really social. I used to really need to be social, and I don't need that anymore, because I actually get a lot of that in my family life, and so I like you're saying, I feel overloaded when I do extra social stuff. So yeah, for me too, I think what you were saying is that for me too, I love being with people like myself. That's why I've created a group, and I'm so glad you guys are in it, because it's so important to hear people say things that make sense to you. It makes you kind of feel at home. And then I too can't feel overloaded. And I'm glad you know that about yourself, Leslie, because knowing is like the most important thing. Because once you know, what happens is that you then can make a choice either to not honor it or to honor it, and you always have that choice of going back to it. So yeah, I think the most important thing is to know. You're right. The most important thing is to try and sit and know what's true for you. And the only way we know what's true for us is if we try on things, right? So that's why it's always really good to be open and try things on. So somebody's saying, you should try this, you should try this. See if it feels right, and try it out. And then if it doesn't suit you. And if it does, it does. And that's how you figure out what works for you. Anyways, everybody have a great day. And I'll perhaps talk to you tomorrow. But if I don't, have a wonderful Christmas. and a wonderful holiday. Lots of love. Okay, see you later, guys. Bye.